People who rage quit your job. What was the last straw? I worked at this tech company for 6 years doing software development. 6 whole years of grinding through endless projects, dealing with impossible deadlines, and putting up with a manager who treated us like we were machines instead of people. His name was Gregory, and this guy was absolutely the worst boss I've ever had in my life. I'm not usually the type to blow up or make scenes. I needed that paycheck to cover my mortgage and help out my younger brother Jamie, who'd been living with me since our parents died in a car crash 3 years ago. So I just kept my head down, worked the extra hours without overtime pay, and hoped things would get better. Spoiler alert, they didn't. Gregory had this thing where he'd pile on work right before weekends or holidays, like clockwork. Every Friday at 4 in the afternoon, he'd dump some urgent project on my desk that absolutely had to be done by Monday morning. And if you complained, he'd give you this smug little smile and say something like, "That's what they pay you the big bucks for," even though our salaries were garbage compared to other companies. The breaking point happened on a Wednesday morning in March. I'd been up until 3 in the morning the night before working on this massive quarterly report for the board meeting. 2 solid weeks of staying late, missing dinner with Jamie, skipping his basketball games, basically living at the office. I was exhausted but proud of what I'd put together. It was solid work, really detailed analysis of our software performance metrics. I got to the office at 8:30, made myself a cup of coffee in my favorite mug, the one Jamie gave me for Christmas with "World's Okayest Brother" printed on it. Just as I sat down at my desk to review the report one more time, Gregory came storming over with this stack of papers in his hands. Without saying a single word, he slammed them down on my desk so hard that my coffee went flying everywhere. All over my keyboard, my mouse, the report I'd just printed out, everything. "Redo this entire thing," he said, not even looking at me. "It's completely wrong and not good enough for the board meeting." I just stared at the mess, watching coffee drip off my desk onto the floor. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. "What exactly is wrong with it?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. He rolled his eyes like I'd asked the stupidest question in the world. "Don't question me. You should be grateful I'm even giving you a chance to fix your mistakes instead of just firing you right now. I want a completely new version on my desk by tonight. No excuses, no extensions, no crying about how hard it is." That's when something inside me just snapped. Not just because of the spilled coffee or even the insults. It was because I'd missed Jamie's school play the night before to finish that report. His first lead role in the drama club, something he'd been excited about for months, and I wasn't there because I was stuck at work doing Gregory's bidding, again. I stood up slowly, picked up the coffee-stained report, and very calmly tore it in half right in front of him. Then I tore those pieces in half too. The entire office went dead silent. Everyone stopped typing, stopped talking, just stared at us like they were watching a car crash happen in slow motion. "You want the report?" I said, looking Gregory straight in the eye. "Do it yourself." His face turned this weird purple color and he started sputtering about how I was making the biggest mistake of my career. But I was already grabbing my jacket and my coffee mug, the only 2 things in that office that actually belonged to me. "You can't just walk out," Gregory yelled as I headed for the door. "I'll make sure you never work in this industry again. I'll blacklist you from every tech company in the state." I stopped walking and turned around. Everyone was still watching, including Janet from HR, who looked like she was trying not to smile. "Good luck finding someone else who'll work 70 hours a week for no overtime pay," I said. "You're gonna need it." Then I walked out. Didn't clean out my desk, didn't say goodbye to anyone, just left. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely get my car keys out of my pocket, but I felt more free than I had in years. 2 weeks later, I got a remote job with this startup that actually treats their employees like human beings. Better pay, flexible hours, and my new boss actually said thank you when I finished projects.